Hello, Team 2, and welcome to Wednesday, the 24th of June. Let's get learning. Okay, I would like you to read your questions, then read your information, and then think about your sentence stems that's going to let you answer the questions. Pause me now. Which one word might you pick to describe how Peter feels, and why didn't Peter want to talk to the cat? Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his watering cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched as if it were alive. Peter thought it best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny. Which one word might you pick out to describe how Peter feels? The one word that I would pick out that describes how Peter feels is puzzled. Puzzled? Which one word might you pick out to describe how Peter feels? I can't remember when I was writing this. Let me think. Right. Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Yeah, puzzled. He became more and more puzzled. He's confused by the whole thing, isn't he? And then, why didn't Peter want to talk to the cat? Peter didn't want to talk to the cat because what do you think he'd heard from his little cousin Benjamin Bunny? What do you think he'd heard from his cousin? What would cats like to do to a rabbit? Yeah, why didn't Peter want to talk to the cat? Peter didn't want to talk to the cat because she might try and eat him. We know that cats like to eat meat from our grandma, don't we? So read your questions. There are 4 questions here, and then go to the information to find it out. Think about what your sentence then is going to be to answer your questions. Pause me now. So where is Peter heading back towards? What does he do? What made him stop? How does he feel? So he went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard a noise of a hoe. Scratch, 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 scratch. Peter scuttled underneath the bushes. Where is Peter heading back towards? Peter is heading back towards the tool shed. What does he do? Well, he hears it. What makes him stop first? Let's do that one. What makes him stop? The sound of the hoe scratch, scratch, scritching makes Peter stop. What does he do? Peter scuttered under the bush. And how does he feel? Now the answer isn't there, but how does he feel? What is he doing? He's heard a noise and he's scuttered underneath the bush. What does he do? He's feeling frightened and afraid. He wants to hide, doesn't he? Read your questions, read your extract, think about your sentence stems to answer your questions. Pause me now. Why did Peter leave his hiding place? What do you think might happen next? Where is Peter now? Presently, as nothing happened, he came out and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Peter, and beyond him was the gate. So, why did Peter leave his hiding place? Peter left his hiding place because he wants to get home. He's had enough of being out adventuring, hasn't he? Where is Peter now? So where is Peter now? Peter is in Mr. McGregor's garden in the wheelbarrow, more precisely. What do you think might happen next? So he could see beyond him was the gate. How do you think Peter is going to get to the gate? I think, now there are no rules with this, I think maybe he will go back towards the wall, climb up, but the gate's the only way out. The wall's too high, isn't it? I think he will go along the wall inside the garden and shimmy to the gate. What do you think? Email me what you think.
Measuring length today.
Question number 1. How long is the pen to the nearest centimetre? So have a look. So they've very kindly, because what's the most important thing when you're using a ruler? You always have to make sure that you've lined up your 0. So you can see they've lined that 0 up for you. How many centimetres is that pen? The pen is this many centimetres long. And number 2, how tall is the dot? And again, they've lined her up perfectly with that 0. They're doing your job for you, aren't they? They've lined it up perfectly. How tall is that dot? So the pen is 13 centimetres long and the dot is 8 centimetres. Now, you might not have a ruler at home. You might not have a numbered ruler. You might, and if you do, then you can do this. If you don't, then you can't, unfortunately. So if you have a ruler, you can draw yourself a 12 centimetre long ruler. Remember to start on 0. A 7 centimetre long line, an 8 centimetre long line. Remember to check with your ruler, ask your grown-ups to check and label it so that they can come along and check. And again, you won't be able to do this if you do not have a ruler, okay? So if you have the work booklet, you can print this off and measure it. If you don't, and you do have a ruler, you can draw your own rectangle. Now remember, the 2 long sides need to be the same length, and the 2 short sides also need to be the same length. So you can draw your own rectangle, making sure that your top and your bottom are the same length and your 2 sides are the same length, and you can label it with however long you've drawn it. If you do not have a ruler, you can't do that, I'm afraid. So Rosie measures the length of a tube of sweets, and you can see here Rosie saying the tube is 8 centimetres long. Do you agree with Rosie? And I want you to explain why you do or do not agree with Rosie. So yes, I agree with Rosie because, or no, I do not agree with Rosie because. How long is the tube to the nearest centimetre? I want you to tell me how long you think the sweets are, what you think the sweets measure. And it says on number 6, you cannot use a ruler to measure the line. Why not? And how could you measure it? Pause me now. So, Rosie thinks the tube is 18 centimetres long. Do you agree with Rosie? No. Why not? What's the problem? I want to see this written down if that's okay, guys. Why not? What is the problem? The problem is, what's Rosie's problem? She hasn't what? She hasn't started at 0. So if she starts at 0, how long is the tube to the nearest centimetre? The tube is 7 centimetres. You cannot measure this line. Why not? And how might you measure it? You might measure it, you could lengthen it out, or you might be able to measure individual little bits and put them together. But the only way to truly measure it would be to get some string, to follow the exact print of that line, cut it, and then pull your string straight. Again, if you have a ruler, you can do this. Draw a line that is between 6 and 9 centimetres long. Get a grown-up to check it. How long is your line to the nearest centimetre? And you can measure it. If you haven't got a ruler, you can't do that. Please don't worry, but you can do this one. Amir has a 15 centimetre ruler. And he says, I cannot measure anything that is longer than 15 centimetres. Is Amir correct? How could he measure an object that is longer than 15 centimetres? Pause me now. So, Amir is not correct. How might he measure an object longer than 15 centimetres? Well, he could mark where 15 centimetres finishes, and then he could move his ruler and start on the 15. So when he gets to 1, it would be 16, then 2 would be 17, and he could measure something larger that way. What might you use if it's bigger than that? If it's too big, what could you use instead of a ruler? You could use a stick. What kind of stick? A meter stick. Clue number 3 to find this thief, this carrot thief. So pause me now to read your clue. Number 3, a piece of cake. Pause me now. On the floor of the shed, you find the carrot thief's favourite snack. Draw a line to match the word to the correct spelling of the long E vowel sound. Make sure that you spell the word correctly. The vowel sound with the most matching words will tell you the carrot thief's favourite snack. Some tongue twisters in this. So we are not going to be drawing lines. What I would like you to do is figure out which E, the E of the blackberries, the E of the lettuce, or the E of the bread and milk. We're going to find out which one has the most. So you're going to try each of those E's within these words and see which one makes most sense, which one makes a word spelt correctly. And when you've done all that, we're going to make a tally of which E is the most popular. So the vowel with the most matching words is it the E of the blackberries, the E of the lettuce, or the E of the bread and milk? And that will help us find, so the carrot thief's favourite snack must be blackberries, lettuce, or bread and milk. Pause me now. So you can see we have deep, green, and tree that have got the double E. We've got the EA, so it's east, read or read, dream, and each. And we've got the E of chief and field. So the vowel sound with the most matching words is the EAE. So the thief's favourite snack must be lettuce. So have a little look. Who could it be? So we've still got Benjamin Button in. What's his favourite snack? It's lettuce, so it could be Benjamin Button. We've still got Cottontail in. What's Cottontail's favourite snack? Oh, blackberries, so it's not going to be Cottontail. Flopsy, her favourite snack is lettuce, so it could be Flopsy. Mopsy, what's her favourite snack? Bread and milk, so it's not going to be Mopsy. Mrs. Rabbit, she's the, now the McGregors aren't, are they? So Mrs. Rabbit is, what's her favourite snack? Lettuce, so it could be a naughty mummy rabbit. Old Mouse is out because he likes to eat plants and meat. Peter, what's Peter's favourite? Oh, yeah, he likes lettuce. So the people in the game still: Benjamin, Flopsy, Mrs. Rabbit, or Peter. Ooh. Find out some more clues tomorrow. Today in writing, we're going to be focusing on commas in a list. Commas are used instead of and to separate items in a list. A comma is not normally used between the final two items in the list. Instead, the word and is still used. So I want you to have a little look at these sentences, and the original challenge is to tick and cross and figure out which punctuation is incorrectly used in these sentences. What I would like you to do is I would like you to write out these sentences. Any sentences that are done incorrectly, I would like you to write them out, put the apostrophes and the ands in the correct place. So if you have a look at A, Peter Rabbit likes to eat, run, play, and explore. So they've got a list of 4 things there. So they've got eat, comma, what's missing? It should be eat, comma, run, comma, play, and explore, shouldn't it? So I want you to write that sentence out with the correct punctuation put in its place. Mrs. Rabbit bought 5 currant buns, comma, a brown loaf, a turnip, and a selection of carrots. Oh, we've got a few things wrong with that one, haven't we? So Mrs. Rabbit bought 5 currant buns. We've got a comma for our next item. A brown loaf. That is our next item. So we need a comma, don't we? Oh, not there then, Mrs. Upton. Noodle. Oh, come on. Yeah. A brown loaf, comma, a turnip. Now we're getting to the last thing, so we don't need this one here. And a selection of carrots. So I want you to write that sentence. Mrs. Rabbit bought 5 currant buns, comma, a brown loaf, comma, a turnip, no comma there, and a selection of carrots. Can you do the same for C, D, E, F, G, H? Okay, I want at least 4 of those doing. So write out at least 4 sentences and put the commas and the ands in the right place, and make sure that there isn't a comma before the and for the last thing, because remember, the last 2 things in the list only need an and. So pause me now to do that, guys. So part 2, can you write your own list about what the sparrows have already eaten today? So the sparrows have eaten, you can make anything up. What do you think sparrows might like to eat? They might like to eat some wiggly worms, comma, they might like to eat some beetles, comma, they might want to nibble some berries, comma, they might want to eat some flowers, and they might want, so you put whatever you think those little sparrows would like to eat, comma, 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 until you get to the last 2 things, last one, and my very last one. So here are the mistakes of the commas that we could see. Have a look. Have you got rid of the red ones? And have you added any of the extra blue ones? Okay, so that's what we're looking for. You should have added the extra blue ones and you should have taken out any red ones. The red ones come in front of that and. We don't need that comma in front of that and, do we? So pause it and have a check over what you've done. Send them over to me if you can, guys. Hi guys, the team in Brayton are doing an incredible job of keeping the community really tight. It's inspirational. They're amazing. So the Brayton Million have put together the idea of a time capsule. And so this is something that I've taken from their Facebook page. I don't know if you want to have a little look more in detail there, but they want stories, they want poems, they want photos of the things that you've been busy doing. Anything that you do, you can bring into school and we can use in school, and you can take it to the Times capsule if you do anything electronically, which it sounds like they would like and we would like too. So it's two birds with one stone, isn't it? You can do things for them and things for us. So have a little read and get anything off that you've been busy doing. They want to see it as much as we do. One of the things that they talked about was that you could do a news report about your experience. And so here are a couple of ideas about now it doesn't need to just be on coronavirus, it can be on something that you did in the day at home. So it could be a newspaper on what you did during coronavirus, and you could do a whole topic on it, or it could be something really specific. Have you invented an amazing game that you and your brothers and sisters have played? There are no rules about this. You can create whatever you want to create. It also suggests a diary. So we've been busy writing diaries during this time. They might be personal, you might not want to use that, or you might be happy to share, but you could write a diary piece and you could think back to some of the best times and the trickiest times, the in-between times, and you could have a little reflect back and write one piece about your time during lockdown. This is just taken from the Brayton Millennium webpage. So these are all the different things that they're offering. So I'm sure you're more aware of it than me, but if you haven't had a look, go and check it out. They're doing some awesome things. This is a little this is a little activity for pen pals. So this is the form that you can fill out on the website, and you've got lots of different options. One of them being that if you want to keep your address private, then that's your choice, and that you can give it to the Brayton I keep wanting to call them the Brayton Millennials, the Brayton Million, and they will exchange it for you. So if it's your address that you're unsure about, then we can look around that. So that looked like a really interesting, exciting activity. You could make a new friend during this. And then we would like any of your memories, so like the Brayton Million have asked for, we would like for your memories of the good, the bad, the everything in between of what you've been doing during lockdown. So if you can provide us with a photo, so when we're coming back into school we can all share these and it'll be something to talk about, because we're all going to have had really different experiences. So if you want to email photos that I can forward on into school, if you want to do a little write-up, there are no rules about this. There are no rules about how you can display what it is that you've been busy doing during lockdown, but we'd love to hear and see it, please, guys. So I've put a little here. This time has been a big medley of ups and downs. As we think about coming back to school, we'd like to create the little book of lockdown, start to gather some photographs and begin to share ideas for us to discuss further in school. Why have you picked this memory and what happened? And then we've got our connected curriculum menu for you to have a little challenge and have a little look at. So I know we've had some fabulous maps of Brayton come in. So when you get into the end of that and you've explored some of the Brayton Millions, then you can come back to this. So hopefully that should be enough to keep you busy. If you're still looking for more, get in touch and we'll find some more things for you to be busy with.